Hey there, superstars. We are live with the one, the only Les Brown, and we got a live Q&A. This is round two for Network of Influence, so let's get started.
Here first from Ty Lopez. This is Manny Lopez. No, we're not related. Brother from another mother.
Hey, Manny, they leaving the money out. What are they doing? You guys that are orphans and you want to get your money right so that you can be a CEO.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. And Manny's a great leader and a very good friend of mine. And I'm looking forward to our sharing the stage together. Manny, it's time.
It's time. Always remember that you are too blessed to be stressed.
Thanks, Manny. Be great.
You know, we travel around the world and we go to these entrepreneur events, and hundreds of them that we've been to, hundreds of them that we've been on their stage, and they're all about selling. They're all about making money. They're all about collecting fame, blowing up on social media. But the reason why we wanted to take this one, we were trying to do anything in our power to make this happen, to get this event, is because of that word right
Serve.
there. And that's serve. So let's give it up for Manny and the entire team for
All right, we are live. Welcome to the party. Loving the hair, loving the shirt. Man, you are just rocking it today.
Thank you very kindly. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be here.
Oh, man, great to have you, man. So live Q&A today. We're just going to pour some amazing questions that I've been gathering from my audience to say, hey, what do you want to know from Les Brown? So you guys watching right now, get those comments rolling. We're going to be asking questions to Les about business, about speaking, and about that awesome hair and how he does it. So let's get started. Les, tell us a little bit about what you're kind of doing on a day-to-day these days, right? We're in the middle of a pandemic. You're normally on stages all around the world sharing your message. What are you doing in today's new virtual space now?
You know, it's been incredible. It's an incredible time for speakers and for trainers and consultants because we've gone from brick and mortar to click and order. So the people that will be successful will learn how to, number one, how to get attention with their story and their communication skills. Two, how to hold the attention, creating an experience for their clients. And three, how to direct the attention so that they can begin to increase their cash flow. And that's what I've been doing on a daily basis. I usually do around 3 to 4 presentations a day around the world, and I don't have to leave home. So it's a wonderful thing. And I'm teaching others how to do it.
Nice. So you've adapted now to this new structure of going virtual and how to do it efficiently. Give us some tips on that. What are you doing differently now that is getting the results that I mean, obviously a big name like Les Brown can attract attention, but you're able to get a lot of results on behind the scenes as well. So what would you say to speakers right now that aren't really understanding how to navigate this virtual space?
Well, number one, the people that are watching now, they have done the first most important thing, and that is align yourself, as I have with you, with someone who has the experience, who has the expertise, and have the ability to leverage your celebrity or your knowledge and skills and experiences so that you can monetize them, and having a relationship with someone like yourself that can help you take your stuff, your message, your cause to another level that you cannot do by yourself. This is a time that it's a level playing field. The computer eliminates geography.
Ooh, that's interesting. So it's really giving you access to having more opportunities, not less, right? And understanding how to capitalize on those.
Absolutely. You know, Robert Schuller said something that's very important. He said, there's never a shortage of money. It's just a shortage of thinking. And so when you are thinking, you have this time to relax, to get still, and to focus on how can I do what I'm doing better, and then integrate some other thinking into it. We're in that place where Einstein said that thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. So when you've developed strategic, collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, that allows you to soar to new heights.
I love it. So looking at how you're doing it, it's collaboration, not competition, right? Find people who are already influential to the market you want to reach. They get it, they understand it, and collaborate, reach more people. Very easy, right?
Yes, but the other thing that's important, do what you came to do. I came to speak. I came here on the planet to speak and to train speakers. That's what I do. And I have a relationship with you. You have skills that I don't have, skills in areas where I'm weak. By all coming together, now that strengthens me. And we both can go further together than we can apart. So it's an incredible time for people, one, to work on their minds, because what we're going through now, this is strange. And after a while, it wears on you. People are snapping, fighting in grocery stores, fighting over toilet paper. Come on, who'd have thought? I mean, slapping someone because they tell you to wear a mask. the level of meltdowns and people breaking down mentally. The suicide rate is up, and it was up 32% before the coronavirus. The divorce rate is up 40%. So having a regiment for your mind, when I get up in the morning, first thing I say, all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. Next thing I say, Lord, whatever I face today, together, you and I can handle it. And the next thing that's very important, I write down my gratitude list, the things that I am grateful for. And after I do that, I review my agenda for the day. Most people are just trying to get through the day. You and I know that's not where it's at. It's about having an agenda for your life. If you don't have an agenda for your life, you will be a part of somebody else's agenda. So have an agenda for the things that I want to get out of this day.
I love it, man. You're just dropping them knowledge bombs, man. And that's what people really need to understand. Learn from people that have already trekked the path that you want to go. This is why I bring in these superstars to teach you what really it takes to become successful. Now, I got a question. Actually, one of our members has a question. I'm going to bring her in on video. If you guys would like to ask Les Brown a question on video, just text right now, Les 2020 to this number right here, 714-369-8528. You'll get to hop in on backstage here and get to ask a question. So let's bring in one of these backstage participants. Tamisa Lydon, come on down and ask a question.
Okay, hey Les, I just love everything about you and your scriptures. Mine is Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, and it's for hope and a future. So go get them, boy.
Thank you.
Hey, I know that you are so inspirational to everybody, so many people in so many ages. And there has to be someone that has inspired you the most in your life. And what is the most important thing you learned to add to your great sense of humor and just being dapper Dan all the time? What is the most important thing that you have learned in your lifetime?
My mother, you know, I'm here because of two women. One gave me life, the other one gave me love. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. I was a foster kid, and then she adopted me along with 6 other children. And so I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. And what I learned from her, she was unstoppable. She's a single mother of 7 children she did not give birth to. And she promised our birth mother, I have a twin brother, that we will never go to bed hungry. We will always have a roof over our head, and there will always be clothes on our back, and we'll be protected by her. And she kept her word on that. And so my first major goal that motivated me, I wanted to buy her a home. I did that. And I took care of her when I turned 18 until she was 89. And so she has been my hero. Father's Day time, I gave her a Father's Day card because I believe there are mothers who serve as fathers. And so I gave her a Mother's Day card and a Father's Day card because she played both roles.
Well, bless your heart. You got to love our mamas all the way.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that question.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
Thank you. Awesome, man. So, tying into our life story, we just don't know where that inspiration comes from, right? Sometimes it's our own family. Sometimes it's somebody we meet off the street. I mean, I remember you were sharing a story how you just walked in on a teacher talking about something, and then that moment changed your life. Tell them a little bit about that moment.
And I'm glad you asked that, because one of the things I'm focused on for people that are serious and want to make a difference in their personal life, in their business life, or a social contribution, and that is that there are three things that are very important. I never forget when I walked into Mr. Leroy Washington's room looking for another student, and he said, "Young man, go to board. I want you to go in front of the class and work this problem out for us." And I said, "Sir, I can't do that." And he said, "Why not?" I said, "I'm not one of your students." And he said, "Well, do it anyhow." I said, "I can't, sir." And the other students started laughing, saying, "He's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT." And he asked, "What's DT?" "He's the dumb twin." And everybody erupted in laughter. And I said, "I am, sir." And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me. He said, "Don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." Whoa. That jarred me. Mama said, "Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you." But words can hurt, and very deeply. And I learned something from him. He said, if you want to make it in life, he says, number one, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. And so he really got me on the path of working on self-development, working on your mind. And when you're in a system that's designed to demean you, to destroy you, to discredit you, in order for you to make it through that, you have to have mental resolve. You got to be hungry. That's the title of my new book. And the next thing he said, upgrade your skill set. He said, you want to be multidimensional. You want to develop and master at least three things that you do extremely well. Mine is speaking, mine is writing, and mine is training speakers. And the next thing he said, practice the principle of OQP, only quality people. Look at the people in your life and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? Am I growing mentally and emotionally and spiritually and financially? There's some people that you need to get out of your life that if you never saw them again, it would be too soon. And many people, Manny, they compromise their ability to go to another level because they don't know that energy matters. It matters. If you're around people and they're not in alignment with your dream, with your energy, it's going to be a problem. And so you've got to just get still and ask the question, is this relationship an asset to me or a liability to me? I don't take calls from everybody. It's got to be positive, purposeful, productive, or profitable. If it doesn't fit in that category, I'm not going to answer that. I'm 75 years old. So I don't waste my time talking with people that don't cover those 4 Ps, because time is important. If you're going to waste something, lose something, let it be money. You can replace that, but time can't replace that.
OQP, only quality people. It's storefront to what really truly is a make or break to your success. Who you're surrounding yourself with is going to decide your future. So definitely some great insights there, brother. Thank you. You guys watching right now, if you want to ask Les a question, here is your chance live. Text in Les 2020. Now, on top of that, some of you may be wondering, man, I wish I could get coached by this guy, man. If this guy could teach me how to take my story and turn it into my message of hope, how to turn that into a legacy to help other people, that would be a dream come true. Well, my friends, you have that ability to do so. Since now Les isn't traveling around the world every week, hopping on a different flight every other day, what he's doing is he's opening up that time to help people like you. somebody that has a story, has a message. So when you text in Les 2020 to that number right here, it's also going to have a link for you to actually apply to work with Les. You can actually have Les coach you on how to become a speaker in your business, right? Whether you're a coach, you're an author, whether you're a 9-to-5 employee, you want to really grow and do something with your life. You've got to surround yourself with people that are actively getting the results you want. This is the legend that you can be learning from. It's opportunity meets time, and now is your time to do that. Let's bring in another Q&A. Kelly Duroy, are you ready? Let's bring her into the stream. Kelly, what is your question for Les Brown?
Hi, Les. Thanks so much for taking the time to meet up with us. My question is, in your career, at what point did you decide, hey, you know what, I got to go big or go home?
I'm so glad that you asked that question, because I didn't do what I'm doing now. I sat on the sideline and I watched Tony Robbins, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Zig Ziglar, all of those guys. And then Mike Williams, who wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff. He's my mentor, Mike Williams. You've read that?
Yeah, I have.
Yes, okay. Yes, I wrote the foreword for that. And so Mike said, you know why you go see those guys? I said, yeah, I like their message. He says, not only that, he said, you love to do that. You love to help people. You're always holding court around the water fountain and you got a funny laugh. He said, this is who you are. And he said, let me share something else with you. You know why you're catching so much hell here, even though you have the #1 radio show in the morning? I said, why? He said, you've outgrown this place. Marion White said, in life, when you don't have enough courage or insight to know that you have outgrown a situation and it's time to move on, life will move on you. And so ultimately, I didn't have enough insight to see that. So they fired me. I say to people, I was talking to a lady and she said she was laid off. I said, no, you were released so that you can pursue the calling on your life. Had they not fired me, I would have never became a state legislator, and I passed 14 bills my first term. Had they not fired me, I would have never been paid $5 million to do a talk show for Kane World. And they paid me $5 million plus $1 million not to speak. It was the highest rated, fastest canceled talk show in the history of television. But at least I had one. And the other thing is, had they not fired me, I would not be talking to you. I would not have become a motivational speaker. I used this to fulfill and complete a promise that I made to my mother. I said, Mama, when I become a man, I'm going to buy you a home. And I bought her 4 different homes. She passed at 89 before she passed. And so that decision was the moment when I was at an event and I saw this speaker, and you've been in an experience where somebody's talking, you say, they're talking to me. And there were thousands of people there, but I felt this message was for me. And this guy stopped in the middle of his presentation. He said, there's somebody here who should be up here holding this microphone. I'm standing in their dream. But you've told yourself that you can't do it, that you're not qualified. See, I was Kelly Bobelli, Bobing Big Manelli. So Kelly, I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mentally retarded, and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. And I failed again in the 8th grade. I have no college training. So my conversation, psychologists call your self-explanatory style, was, I'm not qualified. Who's going to pay me to teach them how to do something I've never done? And I've never worked for a major corporation. Now I earn $70,000 in an hour. And many people don't even earn that in 1 month. And then he went on to say, this just dropped in my spirit. He said, the reason you're seated out there and I'm standing here holding this microphone, changing lives, which you were born to do, he said, I represent the thoughts you have rejected for yourself. Whoa, Kelly, I jumped up And at that time, you could make a telephone call for a dime. I went to a payphone and I called Mike Williams. I said, Mike, he said, Brownie, what's happening? I said, I'm not rejecting myself anymore. He said, calm down, man. I said, no, I'm not rejecting myself anymore. I got a story. And my mother, she has breast cancer, and I promised her I would take care of her. I'm not rejecting myself anymore. Will you help me? And he said, yes, Brownie, yes. And I teach. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help and don't stop until you get it. And after that moment, the rest is history. I've spoken in over 51 countries. People that are listening, they can go on, I think it's YouTube, and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, where they see me speaking to over 80,000 people. I had no idea that this Les Brown existed, but that defining moment, it caused me to get out of my head and into my greatness. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
great question. So you guys watching right now, what is your favorite Les Brown quote? Put it in the comments. And if you're getting some knowledge right now, you're getting some wisdom, you're feeling a little motivated, are you feeling hungry? Well, let me see some wow faces. Blow up that comments right now with some wow faces. And we need to show some love for Les Brown right now. So share with them your favorite motivational quote that Les Brown shares. Put it in the comments, and we're going to be shouting them out for you as well. Lori Bruton, she has a question. She is an aspiring, she's taking her entrepreneurship journey in a whole new avenue. And she wants to now take her fun and excitement for journaling and make that her passion. And she has a question for you. Let's bring her all in. Lori Bruton, come on down. What's your question for Les?
Hello, how are you, beautiful?
Oh, I think she froze on us. Oh, wait, she's moving. She's alive.
Yes.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Lori, Bing, Minori. Lori.
All right, she's cutting out a little bit. We'll see if we can bring her back in. Oh, man, it's a hard right there. We'll see what we can do there. Let's see. Alan Holmes, are you available? I see Alan here in the backstage here. Let's bring in Alan real quick to ask a question while we wait for Lori to get her technical difficulties fixed there. Alan, welcome to the party, my friend. What question do you have for Les Brown?
My question is, but hello.
I can hear you.
What's going on with me? You hear me?
I can hear you. What's your question for Les Brown?
Button.
All right. I don't know what we're doing there. Well, it's difficulties, but hey, we got to flow with it, my friends. I've got a question for you, Les. What is your favorite quote that you see from yourself that gets shared around there? Like every time you see it, like, oh man, I'm glad that this quote is getting out there to the masses. What is your favorite Les Brown quote?
That's a good question. I would say my favorite one is, if you want to be successful, you've got to be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. I heard Brian Tracy, very good friend of mine, great speaker, and he said if you read one book a month, he said the average American reads one book a year. He said if you read one book a month, in 5 years, when the average American would have read 5 books, you'd have read 60 books. That will make you an expert. So I decided to read 3 books a month because of being labeled educable mentally retarded and having no college training. I didn't want it to become an issue that someone would question my content and my ability to provide value for them to impact their bottom line. And so he was absolutely right. My income went from $55,000 a year working for the Miami sanitation department and then working for Sears to over $70,000 an hour here in the United States, $225,000 outside of the United States. So we don't get paid by the hour, as you know, that Jim Rohn said. We get paid for the value we bring to the hour.
I love it, man. You just got this, I don't know what you're like built for, like motivational quotes, man, but you're like a meme generator of motivational quotes, if you know what that means. But here's some of the shout outs that some people say are their favorite quotes of yours. Queen, I think I pronounced her name, says, "Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality." That's a good one there. If you fall, be sure to fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. That's by Christine. Yes. To me, says her favorite is, "You don't get in life what you want, you get what you are." Shadow says, "You get help, not because you're weak, but because you want to stay strong." Look at these, man. This is like, you can write a book with all this stuff right here. You write a couple of them, right? Wendy says, "You can't see what's on the outside when you're locked in the box." I really like these, man. This is the stuff that gets people waking up each day, right? It's just understanding that there is hope. There's somebody out there that's been through chaos, that's been on the other side, and is now teaching other people. Now, we're doing all of this because of the From Orphan to CEO project, right? We're teaching kids from day one how to start a business, how to find a mentor, how to build faith as a foundation in their business. And they're doing something they love to do. We're teaching them from scratch. Some of these kids don't even know how to spell entrepreneur. Heck, some of you guys watching right now don't know how to spell entrepreneur. But at the same time, Les, what would you say to these day one entrepreneurs that are looking at someone like yourself and they see now it's possible? What would you say to them to get them going?
This is your time. And what's most important during this time is to focus your mind on the value that you bring and the audience that you want to speak to, the audience that you want to reach. The computer eliminates geography. 2007 Time magazine said the computer is the person of the year. Why? Because for the first time in the history of the planet, everyday people have access to information and can create a global business with a computer or their telephone. So I run my business with this phone here. Next is, you want to align yourself with people who know more than you, people that you can learn from, people that you can grow from. I have a reputation of reaching over 2 billion people. They did an organic Google search. But Manny, you have skills and knowledge and systems that can help me to monetize my business that I don't know. And so I can, with the alignment of you and I, this partnership, I can earn more with you than I can by myself. And so in my vision and my goal is now is to train messengers of hope, to teach people, and this is very important, how people live their lives, as you know, as a speaker and a trainer, is a result of the story they believe about themselves. What gave me the competitive advantage when I came into the industry was that the majority of speakers to this day, they are governed by the philosophy of the Dale Carnegie course, which is a great course. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. My mentor, Mike Williams, said to me, "Brownie, you want to become successful as a speaker?" "Yes." "You want to speak to the world?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Don't let what you want to say get in the way of what your audience wants to hear. Do your homework, do your research, conduct communications intelligence," and all that get understanding. And so that was very important for me. The next thing he said, if information could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. He said, use your story and create an experience with your story. Oliver Wendell Holmes said that once a woman or a man's mind has been expanded with an idea, concept, or experience, it can never be satisfied to going back to where it was. And so that's why I'm teaching people the secrets of what I've learned how they can begin to soar to new heights, how they can get to the front of the line in a fraction of the time that it took me, because of the fact that with the coaching that I have learned and leveraging my name and reputation and endorsement brings credibility and audience, that they can do what I've done in a fraction of the time and transform millions of people's lives.
And that's the key. I mean, mentorship is that shortcut to understanding that learning curve of entrepreneurship or whatever journey you're on. I mean, that's the thing, like with me and you and teaching systems, where this is all I do for the last 10 years is automation, systems, how to clone yourself to where you don't have to be physically there to create opportunities, right? And now that I've shortened that learning curve, it allows you not to have to go spend 10 years to go try and learn that, to try and catch up, when 10 years from now, I'm going to be probably cloned already 14 different versions, right? So, it's understanding how to take that know-how of understanding there's somebody else out there that's a genius in the areas you struggle with. Surround yourself with those people, learn from them, become a sponge for knowledge, and you will win. It's that simple. Let's see if we can bring Lori back in to ask her question. Lori, come on down. All right, Lori, are you good? Just unmute yourself and we're good. There you go. Ask your question.
There I am.
There you go.
Hi, Les.
Hello, beautiful.
Manny. I am to be in the presence of OQP. You're both quality people, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
My question is how best can I tell my story, like you said, that the audience needs to hear, not just what I want to say?
What's the question? What was the question, Manny?
The question was, how does she kind of develop that message of how do you get an audience, right? And like, how do you share your message in a way that the audience wants to hear it?
Lori, what do you see as your story? Give me the Reader's Digest version of your story.
I see myself as a messenger of hope and transformation.
No, I want you to tell me. No.
Because I was at a point once where I lost hope.
Okay, hold just a minute. I want you to tell me a defining moment, something that happened to you that you want to speak on, that as a result of that experience, it changed your life. Go there. When did that take place?
Okay. The one that comes to mind is when I found myself drunk under a truck in a church parking lot because all I saw were my flaws and weaknesses. And I just thought people are better off without me. And I ended up having a suicide attempt.
Okay, very good. And hi, my name is Lori. I want to talk to you. Hold just a minute. Let me help you. Listen to me now. Listen to me. Thank you so much. Linda, listen to me. Hello, my name is Lori. I want you to listen to me right now. How many have some goals you want to achieve? Very good. How many of you have moments in your life that you look back in your life and you ask yourself the question, what state of mind was I in when I did that? That you were literally out of your mind. Raise your hands. I got to raise two hands. When I look at my life and look at my goals and my dreams and what I'm doing now, this Lori that you see now, I want to share with you some experiences that I learned that can take you to the next level. Number one, I found myself drunk under a truck in a church parking lot. Come on, somebody. I mean, you really have got to be out of your mind to do that. But that was a defining moment for me. To me, a defining moment is a moment where you look at yourself and you say, that's not me. I had a larger vision of myself beyond getting drunk. At that moment, I wanted to take my life. At that moment, I wanted to commit suicide. But there was something in me that realized that life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. And so I had a larger vision of myself beyond getting intoxicated, beyond engaging in self-destructive behavior. Next thing is, you have to have a spirit of optimism. See, the reason that I was engaged in this negative behavior, I had a limited vision of myself. When you get a larger vision of yourself, beyond the negative people that you used to hang around with, beyond the negative choices that have brought you to that place, there's an old saying, wherever you find yourself, at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. I developed a spirit of optimism, of working on myself and cultivating a different kind of way in which I saw myself. And I'm encouraging you to do that. Get a larger vision of yourself, doing more, achieving more, and being beyond the negative habits and behaviors that's kept you stuck. And have a spirit of optimism that, hey, I can do this. I can make this change in my life and become, like Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start carving out a new chapter in your life. The next thing is, you've got to reinvent yourself. You've got to have a radical change about how you've been showing up in life. There's a reason that Paul said, I must die daily. That Lori, who was under a truck drunk in a church parking lot, she's gone. She's dead. I had to reinvent myself. I had to be willing to carve out the time to put the work on myself and take responsibility for where I was. And the next thing is, you got to invest in yourself. Warren Buffett was asked the question, what's the most important investment you can make? And the answer was, in yourself. Here's a guy with billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in the stock market, and he said, in yourself. So it's called the Lori factor. Number one, L, a larger vision of yourself beyond your circumstances and mental conditioning. Number two, O, optimism, having a spirit of optimism and the possibility that you can change your life. 3, R, reinvent yourself. You've got to be willing to make a radical change in your behavior. 99.5 won't get it. And I, invest in yourself. Bet on you. You're an asset to the planet. You have something special. You have greatness in you. You are a masterpiece because you are a piece of the master. It's called the Lori factor.
Had to drop the mic on that one. That was, wow.
Wow.
And just think, we almost were not able to get Lori on because there was technical difficulties, but that right there, that's a life-changing moment right there, Lori. Embrace it. Thank you for coming on the show
Has that
today.
been helpful to you, Lori?
You got it.
Very good. Thank you for who you are.
Les,
And I'm
I've been-
glad you failed at
I've been
taking your
praying
life.
for this opportunity.
All right. God
Yeah.
bless you.
There was a little bit of delay. That's why you'd have a little bit of about 5 seconds before she would start responding. But man, thank you for that, Les. You just, I mean, look at the comments right now. Wow, blowing up. I mean, just, I can't even keep up with them. They're just mic drop, powerful, amazing. Look at this. You just are just, you just dropping the mic on him, Les. You're just dropping the mic. I cannot thank you enough for what you're doing here, bro. This is what it's about. It's helping people understand what it takes to truly get past those blocks that they feel stuck at. It's going back to that moment that has stopped you from moving forward. You didn't even know was in the way. And you just brought it out to people in just seconds. I mean,
You know, they say that most people die at age 25 and don't get buried until they're 65. So if we just take Lori for the people that are watching, all right? If we take Lori and help her master her keynote, I would love for her to sign up for my program called Power Voice. Help her to develop that keynote and teach her how to use her story to transform audiences individually and collectively. So now she's got a keynote, a signature message that will allow her to establish herself a reputation nationally and globally. Second thing is to do a book called The Lori Factor, strategies on how to reclaim your life when you've lost it. And 3, expand that book into an online course to create non-performance income, and you sell that for like $297, $300. And 4, you have a retreat called the Laurie Factor, how to live a larger life, the life that you were born to live, a life that will outlive you.
He's got the roadmap right there. Laurie, you better take action. I'm going to be following up with you to make sure you do. That's the one thing about this group is that I know everybody here. I know you all. You can't hide from me. I'm going to get you. And if you guys watching right now, you want some free resources, we've got all kinds of on-demand goodies that you can access, plus an opportunity to learn how you can get one-on-one coaching with Les Brown. Somebody in the comments was asking, is it just digital coaching or can I actually hire Les to be my coach? Yes, you can hire Les to be on calls with you, meetings with you, and working with you, just like what he did with Laurie in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes. He can do with you in a matter of 2 to 3 months. Just imagine what you guys can do together. So just text that number, Les 2020, to that number you see scrolling on the screen, 714-369-8528. You'll get some free resources, plus have an opportunity to plug right into his community as well. I want to see if we can bring Alan back in. I feel like there's something, just like with Laurie, we weren't able to get Alan on, and I feel like we can have some help here. So let's see. Alan, can we bring you back in, brother? Are you good? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. What's your question for Les Brown?
Can you hear me? All right. First of all, well, the question is, first of all, thank you, Les, for being you, because we actually recently met a while back at the Free Enterprise Forum with CEO Space, and we took a picture. I no longer have the phone, but it was actually meant meant to be, and say thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to speak. Manny dragged me on here with my digital issues and everything, but it was meant to be, because this is not about me. This is about my wife. I'm sorry, my little selfie. Can you hear me? So my question is, how do you take a situation where you're trying to be a passionate for my beautiful wife who has mental illness, and really show the world? Yeah, that's my question, is how do you take someone who, like, who's my wife, or who has mental illness, and really show to the world, but at the same time building who I am as the brand, and putting my
I'm missing that. I'm not
and making it about her.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add the question in. It's what he's trying to ask is, how do you get people you care about to support?
I don't know if that
you,
can,
right? That's, I would say, the question that he's trying to get across is, how do you get people in your own circle to get motivated?
Or is it not come across?
Button on so I can hear you, Manny.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, I've muted him. Go ahead. So okay, how do you get people to care about what you do and support what you do?
Manny, I have a twin brother, and we're different as day and night. I read a book once called The Kabbalion, and there's a line in there that I'll never forget. Don't speak where you don't have a voice. I tried to help my brother lose weight. I gained 25 pounds. It said the lips of the wise are sealed to the ears of the ignorant. People change when they get to a point where they say, I can't do this anymore. People change when they get to a place, and I believe that until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, they will never change. His wife has to get to that place, and we cannot fast forward them there. People are like the prodigal son. They have to come to themselves. I had to come to myself. I used to live a dysfunctional life, but I came to myself and said, this is not me. I don't want this. And you have to put your foot down and decide that you are going to do whatever is required to change the course of your life. And we don't know when that will happen. Some people it happens to sooner. Some people it takes longer. Some behaviors that we're involved in, some for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime. And so the best thing that we can do is, one, work with the willing, those who are willing to do the things that's necessary to change the quality of their lives. But we can't make their choices for them. That's on them. And be a good example. Hold yourself to a higher standard, because when you're trying to help others, it will pollute your power. It will dilute your effectiveness. And so we have to wait till they come around, but you got to keep moving. We only have so much time. We can't get out of life alive. You got to keep moving in the direction of your dream and do that which you came here to do. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Les. Thank you, Alan. That was a really great question, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, Les, man, we're coming up on our time today. It's been such a blessing for you to be here and share your insights with us. Whenever we can get a chance to pick your brain, it's always just golden nuggets of wisdom, man. I need to create like a whole segment of just Les Brown content that we're building together, because, man, you can definitely change lives with the words that you say. And I think that's what we all really need to focus on doing, is taking what we know how to do. Just like you were saying, you can't teach something you don't have experience with. Stay in your lane and focus on just serving the people that can resonate with that. You can't force somebody to want to be what you want them to be. You can't force somebody to like something they don't like, but you can inspire people that do want to receive your message. Les, if there's one message that you can leave with our audience today, what is that message?
You have something special. You have greatness in you. And the title of my book is called You've Got to Be Hungry: How to Win with the Greatness Within. When you're pursuing your greatness, you don't know what your limits are. So you act like you don't have any. Decide to live a life that will outlive you. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, and Manny Lopez's pride and joy.
That's a new one. I like that one.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Coming in. I really appreciate it, brother. You have a great one. And always remember, everyone, you are too blessed to be stressed. Now go have a great day.